Hello everyone, my name is Qcode and welcome back to our Love Tutorialy series thingy. Today we're going to be extending the buttons that we created in our last episode and creating some new fonts to go along with it. So let's have a look at the new functions we're going to be using to load in these new fonts and set them in search. First thing we've got is love.graphics.newFont. This will create a font and store it in a variable. As you can see, it's got two arguments, file name and size. I've got a new font I've added into my program. /TTF, this is one of my favourite fonts. I use it for practically everything. I'll have a link in the description to it. It's freeware, you can use in commercial use, a bunch of other good stuff. Really nice font, I enjoy it quite a bit. So I'm going to create a font and call it title font. And say title font equals love.graphics.newFont and then /TTF. And then I'm going to make the size 30. For no particular reason. If we build this, we can see nothing has changed. That's because we need to set the font as well. So now we set the font using love.graphics.setFont. You can use this in love.load or love.draw, love.update. Most commonly just used in love.load and love.draw though. You can see here the argument it has is to use the font variable that you've already created. So I'm going to write love.graphics.setFont and then provide title font. Build this, and you can see they all have big title fonts. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the title font a bit bigger. As you can see, that's messed up some of my spacing, so I'm going to readjust that. Should be easily changed by changing the X to 200 and the width to 400. That will make it still be centered. Okay, there we go. That's a good size for my main font. However, I don't like these buttons being as big as they are. So now what I can do is I can make another font and just call it something different. So I'm going to call this button font equals love.graphics.newFont. I'm going to use the same file name .ttf, but just change the size. I'm going to change it to 30 because I like that quite a bit. Still works the same way for now. That's because we need to set the font as different inside of the menu _draw. So here I'm going to put love.graphics.setFont, title font, and then when it's drawing buttons, I'm going to set love.graphics.setFont, button font. So the font is changed in between the title and the button, and again in between the button and the title. As you can see, you've got big title text and smaller button text. It works much like the set color function in that once you change it, it remains like that for the rest of the program until you change it again. And how do we make it so we can actually click on the buttons? We're going to be using the menu _mouse pressed function, and I'm going to look through all of the buttons first for IV in pairs, menu button, do, end. Since the menu _mouse pressed function is being called, we know that there's been a click somewhere on the screen. However, now what we want to check is if this click is between the boundaries of the button's hitbox. So we go through all of the buttons and check if X is greater than v.x and X is less than v.x plus 400. We use that because that's the limit for our wrapping. And Y is greater than v.y and Y is less than, I'll say v.y, we don't have a v.height, I'll just give it maybe 50, I believe that'll be a good amount of pixels. Then we're going to call v.execute with parentheses around it so that the function is actually called. So you can see if I click on start game now, it says starting game. Thank you everyone for watching this episode. Next episode I'm going to make these two functions, start game and exit game, actually work instead of just printing things. And I'm going to start the basis for our new playing state. I hope to see you all next time. Bye!